Hi, I'm Anthony Rogers, 6th grade math and science here at Anna Yates Elementary School in Emeryville, California.
I'm Leslie Thornley, and I'm the math coach here at Anna Yates.
I am Tracylewis. I'm the 2nd grade teacher at Anna Yates Elementary School.
I'm Camille Paris, 3rd grade teacher at Anna Yates School.
Hi, my name is Jagwanana Lathan. I am the principal of Anna Yates Elementary School.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here today, and I'm really pleased that we're going to get a chance to work with Tracy and watch her teach a lesson today. So I think before we get started and put our head around what we're going to be doing and what we're going to be looking for in our classroom is just to spend a few minutes doing the mathematics that the kids engaged in, and then we'll have a chance to step back and talk about that and frame the day. It sounds to me like I'm hearing you think a little bit about that whole, we've been talking about using pictures, numbers, and words to
right.
explain our thinking, and yet there are times when we ask them to
do something, and using pictures, numbers, and words here is really, really challenging.
Challenging in terms of
And challenging.
time consuming.
Well, yeah, it can be time consuming, but if I pick up a piece of paper and the student has an answer, be it accurate or less accurate, I'm looking for how they thought about the problem. Mm-hmm. If I don't have that information, it's difficult for me as a teacher to clear up misconceptions or to actually see maybe they discovered something new or something different, like some of my students have discovered different ways because it's what's comfortable for them. So.
Okay, so why don't we take a minute and step back, and there's a copy of a protocol that we're going to more or less follow today in working with Tracy this afternoon. So before the observation, we're going to give Tracy a few minutes to talk about the mathematics and the experience that she's given her students with this task and the work she's been doing this year and the thought that she put into planning the lesson. And then she's going to give us a focus question. And when we go in and do the observing in the classroom, we'll be gathering data on what it is that she's asking us to look for. And I'll talk about that etiquette in a moment when we get into the classroom. So Tracy, why don't you tell us about the mathematics and...
Okay, so this is basically working with word problems. And one thing that we've noticed, our whole team has noticed, is that when we work with 2nd graders with word problems, they're real comfortable going, oh, I see this number, I see that number, let me add them together, bam, I have my answer, without really reading through the problem, because that's been their experience from kinder, first, is a lot of work with either one-to-one correspondence and adding on to that. So when we get to 2nd grade and we start talking about word problems, a lot of them don't recognize that even though they might see the word more or they might see how many, it doesn't always mean that they're supposed to add. And trying to figure out what is the problem really asking me about? Is it asking me, how many altogether? Is it asking me to take things apart? This is a great level where, at least where I've noticed, it's really starting to change for them, and they have to start really paying attention to the words and matching those words with operations that they really already know how to do. So that's pretty much the math portion of it. The question, or this was actually done kind of in between the time where we started introducing word problems. This is a Mars task. So we were kind of just starting the explicit instruction on looking at a word problem and breaking it down. I've been working with my students on always, representing their thinking with some kind of picture representation, using numbers and using words. I mean, in the beginning, that's pretty much what it was, just trying to get them to put something on the paper. Now I don't have a problem with them putting anything on the paper. Now the question is, did what you write down, does it answer the question? Because you could have a lot of information written down, but none of it will answer the question. So, or little parts of it here might answer the question. This might just be some extra information, or somebody might just decide I want to draw another cute little picture or something like that. Trying to really get away from that idea but getting them to make their numbers and their words and their picture all relate in some way. And you'll probably hear me tell them, okay, if I pick up your paper, will I understand what you did? That's my goal for them. When somebody picks up your paper, they should be able to see, oh, okay, this person did this and they did that, or they did this algorithm, or whatever it is they did. And then there should be some words to explain, because maybe you didn't write 63 first. Maybe you wrote 19 first. So giving us some picture on paper of what you actually thought in your head. Because in the beginning of the year, the answers would be, when it says show your work, I counted. I did it in my head. Well, what did you do in your head? What's going on in your head? What picture did you see? Because it may not be the picture that I see. And then actually having the discussion around allowing students to know that it's okay to be incorrect and have an incorrect answer, and how to work through the process of getting to a more accurate answer. I'm trying to actually get away from saying wrong. I mean, although there is an answer that is actually incorrect, but when you say, oh, that's wrong, a lot of kids, they start to shut down. Like, I'm never gonna get this right, or I always get it wrong. So I've tried to introduce the vocabulary of more accurate, most accurate, least accurate, which answer more accurately answers the question. And did we actually answer the question? So that's pretty much what I'm looking at. What I have noticed after we've done this task is that I still have students, God bless them, they still look at a problem. They will read the problem and they'll go, 1 number, 2 number, add them together, that's my answer. And when I ask them, okay, that's how you got your answer, why do you think you were supposed to add? They have no idea, or they don't have an explanation for me. So that's pretty much what I want to look at. And in this re-engagement task, looking at how their pictures, their numbers, and their words work together. And that's it. And some of these is kind of challenging to get an actual picture for.